Hi there.
I'm Dr. Ramona, and I'm with my sister, Dr. Renee. And this week we are in week number 9 of our Pineal Gland Inspired Vol.1 video log journal. And our theme this week is Only You Can Move This Energy.
It's really exciting to be in week number 9. We will be talking about our process, if we've made any changes, any experiences that we've had, any mystical experiences, and anything else that comes up.
So let's get to it.
Okay.
All right, so we're back. And this week has been another interesting week, right?
At the very beginning of our process, it seems every single time you sat in the chair, you felt like things were really different. But now, as we've been doing this for so many days and so many weeks, I think what we're looking for has started to become a little bit more subtle. And that's a good thing, because that means the energy has activated the pineal gland. It's starting to change things through the body. The cells are starting to become entrained into the gamma sprite experience, which is great for us all, but it's got to go all the way through the 50 trillion cells that we have and make changes. So that's not going to happen instantaneously, but it does require us, I think, to pay a little bit better attention to the subtle changes that are happening both within us and on the outside as to how we use ourselves, how we experience our world.
I totally agree. And it really segues very nicely into what our intention this week is, because my intention was to focus, focus, focus. And that has to do with that subtlety. I need to laser my intent with greater specificity. That's what I'd say. And you? What's your intention?
But observing. And the fact is that as things have become more subtle, it requires more sleuthing. And that means be not just focused, but also observing the changes that are happening. And I really think the changes are happening both on the inside of us as well as on the outside. As we walk through our daily lives, we can also be more aware of what are the things that are triggering us and are no longer triggering us, because the energy is coming up. As we pull that energy up from the first 3 chakras, we're working through some of those densities, and we are integrating those densities back into the energy system. And in doing so, that changes how we are aware of our world. And that's the part of this I really love.
I totally can agree with that, because some of the things that used to trigger me don't.
Don't be looking at me.
Thank you. And it's nice. It's a relief, really, to be able to release that, to be aware of it. I'm glad to be aware that they're happening, because they feel good. They give me hope. They make me feel more enthusiastic about continuing on with this practice of
Because you get to week 9, 9 times 7. You're trying to say, how many days have we been doing this? How many days are we going to continue doing this? And then the question is starting to loom, will we be doing this further than the 12? Do you really want to stop? I'm asking myself, do I really want to stop irradiating my brain with gamma sprites? Do I really want to stop? And when you stop, things back down. Anytime you've done a meditation practice, and we both had years of meditation practice, and there are times when things happen in your life and then you end up putting that kind of thing on hold, and then you come back to it, and you notice that there's a rebuilding process.
But it rebuilds faster, because the foundation is strong, the foundation has been laid. So life happens, and that's fine. We don't want to be so engaged with the need to do it every single day in the same way and same shape, because that also limits our ability to evolve.
Yes, I agree with that.
In order for us to become more enlightened, we're going to have to, may as well say it now, we're going to have to go through some sort of a destructive process.
Yeah.
I was just reading this week from a Buddhist monk who was saying enlightenment is essentially a destructive process. And so what we're doing with the PG, pulling the mind out of the body, is an enlightenment. Our gland is becoming enlightened. It is becoming engaged with higher frequencies. And those frequencies then will change us, essentially, in some ways, make us lighter, but also enlighten and broaden our awareness. It's destructive in its heart, because we have to let go.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean we're going to be happier. It doesn't mean we're going to be better. It just means we're going to have to understand that letting go is part of the process.
It means that we're going to be clearer, that we will see reality a bit more clearly. And that is the expectation. is that you can react from reasoned understanding as opposed to emotion.
Yeah.
And that means we're just clearer. But you're right. It is going to be breaking things down, dissolving things in order to create something new.
And that could be physical, right?
Yeah.
That could be mental. And it
Yeah.
most certainly will be spiritual.
Activated by our emotions. So we are indebted to them for clearing the way. So let's talk about our experiences this week. I remember at the beginning of the week, I had some pain behind my right eye, and that was difficult to get through. But it was a process that as I allowed the light to shine in, and I didn't push as hard, because when you have something there, you're like, but you don't give up, you persevere. And eventually it entrains what's there and allows for a release of whatever it was causing the density behind the right eye. You might remember that at the beginning of my process, I was having some experiences with my underarm, left side.
I remember that.
So it's interesting. Feeling hasn't completely waned, but it disappears within the first two breaths. But it is something that when you have a light on the right side, it's controlling what's happening in the left side of the body. So it brought that idea back to me. But at the same time, the right side also includes an ability to do what we need to do in terms of spatial thinking, image processing, and our intuition. And I'm doing a lot of writing right now. And I remember asking at the beginning of the week for my guides to assist me with intuitive downloads wherever they might feel like I could use it. And that's a right side thing. That's a brain activity, initiating intuition. And in some ways, the whole pain in the right side, which lasted for several days and eventually waned, I wonder if it had something to do with my request for assistance. I have to admit, I had a wonderful week with my project. It went along really well.
Let me pick up here, because my intention was all about focus and focus, focus, focus. And I've been thinking our intention, as from week 1 to week 9 now, has been to activate the PG gland, because that's the purpose of why we're doing what we're doing. But you know what? I've achieved that purpose. You've achieved that purpose. We have activated, we have evidence within ourselves and through our conversations that there has been and continues to be PG activation. And so it seemed to me that this subtlety that we were talking about has to do with the possible need to re-examine the intention that's going on here.
Okay.
Because our intention was, like I just said, to activate, but it's been activated. So what's going on? What am I intending now as I'm pulling the mind out of the body? Right? Because I know that it's going to happen. So I need to know that I'm being motivated right. I'm achieving a purpose. Intention gives you inspiration. So I need a revisioned intention here, something that involves the PG gland, obviously, because it's the one that's bringing down the new frequencies and metabolizing them into those new hormones. But what is that? I need a new spiritual intention. And it started me thinking, well, what's this process? What do I need? I know I've been practicing a lot, so that's part of managing a spiritual practice, being disciplined, being dedicated. I'm thinking I have a process that I'm going through. That's all there. Controlling the negative thinking.
That's really important.
But what I haven't done sufficiently, and this is maybe where the heart of the new intention is going to emerge, is the depth of the surrender to the belief of the process. When we were in San Diego and watching the other participants on the stage moving through their process, what I was perceiving that they were experiencing, how it looked, doesn't feel like what I'm experiencing. I'm not gone for however long. I come back and then I go again after, and I come back. So the process isn't done. There's more to do. And PG gland activation has occurred, but hasn't flowered in the way that we were shown it could flower in San Diego.
And you feeling that it has something to do with the depth of surrender to the process?
Maybe it does. So there's
still some fear there?
Could be.
Oh, could
Maybe
be.
there is. I'm not experiencing that in a visceral way, or in an intellectual way, let's say. I'm committed to this process because I've been shown to this extent that it works.
Yeah.
So what's holding back that full-blown expression?
Yeah, I could answer that question in one way, because obviously we don't know the total answer because we're not there. The process is we're bringing down all of this incredible energy, higher frequency energy, and it has to talk to each of our 50 million cells. They all have to surrender. It's not, that's how I'm envisioning the process. They all have to surrender. We've lived decades of life, and there are densities, and some are changing and some are still there. As some get integrated into the system, others are revealed. And that may be the subtleness of what we're now experiencing. You have to continue to persevere to allow the higher frequency energies to enter the system, enter the cell, change the cell, express different genes, allow us to be released from some of this conditioning that we have had, including the need for survival, because survival is our biggest, our conditioning, if you will. But each and every cell has one. It's not just us as a being, as an integrated collective. All of our cells want to survive as well. And we have to convince each and every one of them. I didn't get to see, by the way, what you're talking about. So I don't have the visual. I was in the research room. I just have your information to tell me what was happening on stage. But the response underneath it all could still be a fear response of releasing and surrendering to the entire process, which would suggest that we talk to our higher guides or spirit guides, whomever it is that you feel is your higher source, and request assistance, and then be persistent. What can we do but be persistent with the process?
Very good.
Working in a collective would also be a really good thing to do. 4,000 people surrounded by all this wonderful energy can, in a collective way, just like empathy, take you over the top.
Yeah. Back in the early days of our youth, I did have an experience of overwhelming connectivity that was very like the one that I saw exemplified on that stage.
I had my own one of those. I'm just caught up in the light, and when the light decided to switch off, then I came back. I don't feel like I'm afraid to go back there. Reasonably in my mind, I don't feel like I'm afraid to go back there. But regardless, I am willing to persevere. There are some ways that you can awaken Kundalini and blow your brains out. And then there are those who use a methodology, and the process is much more subtle and soft because it's safe. And safe. Subtle, soft, and safe. What more can you want? As far as I'm concerned.
And that's about right. So, want to wrap it up?
Yeah, sure. Let's wrap it up.
My intention was to understand intention this week and the force of that, because an intention is a frequency. And to understand the frequencies that are moving through you is critical to your health and well-being, to how I'm feeling and the degree to which that I can evolve my own understanding of my connection from 3D to 5D.
And I can say that there's one thing that we shouldn't gloss over is asking for assistance from your higher self, from your higher source. That can be instrumental in focusing your process and bringing more energy and intent to the process and taking us up and over. So I know that I've done that. And I feel like I got a lot of intuitive downloads this week to assist in my writing process. And so that's something that I'd like to continue doing. Asking for help and receiving it and being aware that I'm getting it. Awareness is also paramount.
End of another good week.
Looking for number 10. Here we go. Take care. Bye-bye.
Please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. That way you'll be notified every time we upload a new segment in our 12-week Inspire Volume 1 video journal series. If you'd like to start your own journey, you can purchase Dr. Joe's Inspire Volume 1 10 Tracks to Master the Breath album using the direct link in the description. Happy breathing!